all our brand members and viewers. This is Scott Casey Gale, Will Feel #1, the owner of the National Wrestling Shooters in the channel Will Feel #1. Today, I'm here in the brand, the Vince Russo brand, to do my Impact Wrestling Genesis report, which was last week, and I thought it was a really good, decent show. Okay, let's begin with the review, shall we? The commentators for the show were Jeremy Borash and Josh Matthews. And by the way, Jeremy Borash is now in the WWE. He's working for the NXT development, helping out. So Jeremy Borash is no longer part of Impact Wrestling. He is now in WWE. And I'm very happy for him. Okay, let's begin. The first match was EC3 versus Matt Sydal. Also, EC3 is part of NXT now. The first match was EC3 versus Matt Sydal for the Grand Championship. No judges, no rounds for this one. Matt Sydal starts aggressive with a drop kick immediately at the bell. The fight spills outside, and Sydal is taking the fight right into the champ. The fight makes its way back into the ring, but the story stays the same. Sydal is relentlessly early on. EC3 rebounds from an Irish whip with a huge closer, and just like that, the momentum has shifted. It looks like Sydal is making a comeback with a leg sweep, but EC3 gets the knees up as a counter to be a standing moonsault to rub some salt in the wound. Carter makes the choking gesture at his challenger. After another bit of mocking from the champ, Sydal uses a Matrix-style dodge and to avoid a punch from Carter, follows with a series of kicks, and this time hits the moonsault. Sydal is back in this. Sydal goes for a Frankenstein in the corner, but Carter just moves out of the way, and Matt takes the nasty spill. This leads to a break. They return, and Sydal is still completely on the defensive. Sydal recovers quickly from a TK3 on the ropes and lands some kicks to the champ, knocking him outside the ring. This doesn't last long when Carter hits a desperation DDT on the apron. Carter looks for the counter, but Sydal just makes it. Despite this, Sydal is still alive. Reverses a powerbomb into a Steiner. Then it goes into a Steiner, goes to the top, misses a shoot stop press, and then Carter hip tosses him straight into the corner. Our presenter, but Sydal is about to move to the outside. Carter is content mocking him some more choking symbol. EC3 gets the challenger in a fireman and climbs to the rope. Matt Sydal fights out, knocks him down, shooting stop press, 1, 2, 3. Matt Striker wins the Impact Wrestling Grand Championship, which is, spoiler alert, retired right now. And then Matt Sydal defeated EC3 to win the Grand Championship. And then announcers talk of the barbed wire match from last week. Video package prepping the KO title match. Anyway, I thought this was a really decent match. I mean, it was quick, but it was a really decent match. And then next match was Ali versus Lauren Van Ness for the Knockouts Championship. Counter and elbow tie up starts the match, and these two don't let go. They take it outside, finally back in the ring, and it's Ali with the advantage early on. Fight spills outside. LVN been able to hit a big boot to get the upper hand as Impact goes to a break. Impact returns, and LVN is still well in control of the challenger. She starts focusing on Ali's left leg. Later on, she delivers a hangman's DDT and works the neck a bit. Ali fires up and they exchange blows in the middle of the ring. Double clothesline. Now the challenger is even more fired up and delivers a series of offense to the champ, including a big suplex in the corner that only yields her a 2 count. After a series of reversals, Ali hits a cold breaker, but also only gets her 2. LVN comes back for a big kick and a curb stop, but she only gets a 2 as well. Ali fights out the unprettier and delivers a super kick 1-2 foot on the rope. LVN hits Ali with an elbow which knocks the challenger into the referee. Van Ness takes this opportunity to use the title as a weapon to the head. That's enough for her to get the pinfall win. Van Ness defeated Ali to retain the Knockouts title. I thought this was a good match. It seemed really fast, but it was a good match in my opinion. And then there was a video package to set up the Moose Lashley match. And then Bobby Lashley with Dan Lambert and Cam versus Moose. Lashley starts out with strikes onto Moose, which has Moose in trouble early on. He maintains this offense for a good portion of things. Moose finally gets on the board for a splash after running up the ropes. His comeback is snuffed out when KM grabs his foot and Lashley takes advantage. Despite this, Lashley is unhappy with KM's help. He gets out of the ring and gets in KM's face because of the interference when Impact goes to commercial. When they return, Moose is still on the defensive. He finally gets a moment to breathe when he drop kicks Lashley off the top turnbuckle. However, outside the ring, Lashley tosses Moose into the ring steps. It looks like Kane is going to move in on Moose when Lashley gets in front of him and tells him to back off. KM gets a table and slides it into the ring, but Lashley wants nothing to do with it. When he returns to Moose, he receives a big headbutt. Moose finally gets a series of offense concluded with a go-to-hell powerbomb, only gets him a 2 count. Lashley gets back in quickly with a Hurricane Rana and hits a spear. Moose gets his foot on the rope. KM gets on the apron to shout at Lashley to use the spear. Moose hits a discussed clothesline, but Lashley kicks out. He delivers another one, and this time it's enough. Moose defeated Lashley. I thought this is a really, really good match. In my opinion, I like this. And then, after the match, Dan Lambert berates Bobby Lashley, telling him this is his fault and that Kane was trying to help him. Kane gets between them. Lashley shoves him and spears him. He then throws Dan Lambert into the ring when Moose bicycle kicks him. Now Moose learns that the table is up against a turnbuckle. Lashley re-enters the ring and Lashley spears Dan Lambert through the table. Moose extends the hand and Lashley shakes it. Josh, the guy who was always getting beat up on ATT, enters the ring to look into Lambert, but receives a big powerbomb from Lashley and a spear by Moose. Like I said, a really good match. I loved seeing Dan Lambert go through a table. It's about time somebody got their hands on Dan Lambert. Don't get me wrong, Dan Lambert was a great heel. He was really good on the mic, but I think this was the perfect way to end the storyline. It was the perfect way to write the Dan Lambert's heel character off. So anyway, yes, I really like Dan Lambert. He was one of my favorite heels in Impact Wrestling, but like I said, Bobby Lashley spearing Dan Lambert through a table was the perfect way to wipe Dan Lambert off. Oh, by the way, Bobby Lashley is also no longer part of Impact Wrestling either. But anyway, good match. And then there was the X Division title match. This is a match taped at the Pro Wrestling No Show. It's between Andrew Everett and the champion Taiji Ishimori. We saw the last 5 minutes of the bout, which was good. Ishimori retains with a 450 splash, and after the match, Andrew Everett holds up the arm of the champ. This is another good match. And then it's the main event, Eli Drake versus Alberto Del Rio versus Johnny Impact for the Global Championship in the Steel Cage. If Drake wins, Patron and Impact don't get another title shot from him. Chris Sardonis will be outside of the ring on Drake for this one. Usual cage match rules, pinfall submission, and escaping the cage to win. The beginning of the match finds Drake and Patron both working over Impact. After they do that, they turn their attention to each other. Johnny not drawn for long enough, and he tosses both men into the steel cage. Patron tries to escape, and Impact goes to stop him. Johnny gets hung up the tree of woe, and Alberto tries to go for a stop while hanging from the top. Johnny is able to avoid the move, however. The three men are out punching each other until Eli delivers a double low blow. Drake, able to take advantage of this, takes it to both dudes. When the champ tries to toss Johnny into the cage, Johnny does some wild parkour to move to avoid and come back with a kick to Drake. Now it's Johnny in control. Both Patron and Impact try to escape. Once again, Johnny gets knocked off into the tree of woe, and this time Patron delivers his stomp from the top rope. Eli tries to hit Patron immediately with the great return, but Alberto reverses into an armbreaker. Impact has to break it up with a top rope elbow. Now our three men are up trying to escape over the top. Patron knocked down. Impact has one leg over and kicks down Eli, but instead of winning, he's going to do something crazy. He's on the top of the cage, crossbody to Drake and Patron. All three men are down. Drake tries a gravy train to Alberto, but Johnny breaks it up. Eli climbing to the top and Johnny in pursuit. Eli has one leg over. Meanwhile, Alberto trying to escape out the door. Johnny wants to stop him and pulls him back in. Drake still trying to get over the top of the cage, but wobbling from a kick from Johnny. Alberto dispenses of Johnny and tries to leave the cage, but Adonis slams the door in his face. Johnny runs up the cage to try to beat up Eli to the floor. Both men climbing down, but Adonis grabs Johnny and holds him up so he doesn't hit the floor. Eli lands, Eli wins. Eli Drake retains his championship. That's the show, folks. Thanks for watching with us. I thought that was a really, really good episode. I would rate Impact Wrestling Genesis a 7 out of 9. It was a really, really good show. I like the wrestling style, even though a lot of the wrestling matches were pretty fast, and I enjoyed it. I liked what I saw, so I would give this 4.5 stars, 2 thumbs up, and a 7 out of 9. Anyway, that is it for the Scott Casey Gale show. Shout out to Impact Wrestling. Shout out to the Vince Russo brand. Shout out to my mom and dad. Shout out to my sister Christy and my brother-in-law John. Shout out to my little nephew. Shout out to my little niece and nephew through Brooklyn and Jackson. Shout out to my baby niece Grace. Shout out to the dog Cooper. Shout out to all my family and friends. Friends, you stay classy, live long and prosper. Peace out. Tomorrow I'll probably be back here for another Impact Wrestling video. Anna Crazy Man and Dave Meltzer. Anyway, you stay classy, live long and prosper. Peace out. I'll see you next week. Scott Casey Gale out.